the interest so 99539.05 minus 4500. Answer going to be 476, right? This answer is going to be 476, right? But remember, how much we added here to get this one. If we added 476 to 9953, it exceeded the value of 100,000. So the last payment, the difference going to be the plug figure here. If you take the difference between 100,000 minus 99,539, answer going to be 461. So that's why the last payment is going to be a plug figure, a balancing figure. It doesn't mean that you multiply this with 5% and then you compare with the you take the difference between interest payment and interest expense and then less here. So this is 476. But if you add 476 to this amount, it will be 100,015. So 15 is above. So you make a plug figure that is 461. So that's why it is the logical amount here that the maximum amortized amount going to be 461 until this discount becomes 0. So you see, the last amortized value is going to be exactly the same figure here. They just transfer this 461 here because that is the left amount in the discount balance. That's it. So you understand the trick here, everyone? The amortized table and how we calculate the last plug-in figure? Lota, Kathleen, Coco, Ali?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Good. Ploy, Nimesh, Dijudi?
Yes, sir.
Good. So what happens to the 3851 balance of the discount? So it decreases as it is allocated to interest expense through amortization. So 3851 is additional interest expense over and above the stated interest rate, stated interest paid. Amount of interest expense increases as bond carrying value increases towards maturity that we just discussed all here, right? So interest expense always greater than interest payment, right? The discount is going to be decreased or amortized with the number of payments, and the balance is going to be added to the carrying value or bond value, right? Bond, carrying value or bond value. So you see, when you issued the bond at discount, so interest expense is greater than the interest payment. Interest payment is a straight line because it's fixed. But what about the value of the bond? You issued the bond at 96149, and at the end it has to reach to the value of 100,000. So bond value, carrying value increases till its maturity value, right? 100,000 cannot increase from above the 100,000. So the premium is going to be the opposite of that one. But before going to discuss the premium, let's talk about the entries of this interest expense and interest payments, because we are dealing with the two interest rates. So what are the entries here? So if we make the entry here, the Southwest Journal entry to record interest expense and interest payment for July 1st, 2014. July 1st, 2014 going to be this payment, right? 4,500, 487, 307, sorry, right? So how much you actually pay? You pay 4,500 or you pay 4,807? Kathleen? How much the company pay coupon interest? 4,500 or 4,807? Kathleen, can you hear me? Okay, Ploy, can you hear me?
Sir, the connection is not very good here. Let me quit and then I'll change the Wi-Fi real quick.
Oh, okay.
Is it interest payment, sir?
Well done, interest payment. So company will pay in cash 4,500, right? So that is the cash paid. So what is the interest expense? Expense is 4,807. The cash payment is 4,500. Interest expense is 480. So, and this is the decrease in discount, right? It means discount is decreasing. So remember, discount is an expense. Expense increase, debit. Expense decrease, credit. So we have the entries here. What is the entry? What is the expense? Interest expense. Interest expense 4,807, right? 2, discount, because decrease in expense 307. Answer going to be decrease in expense, so we have a credit. So increase in expense, debit, decrease in expense, credit. So this 307 is the decrease in discount, the decrease in expense, which is discount, right? So many students are confused, sir, this is discount. And we saw that discount is always debited. Why this is credited? Because that is decrease in discount, right? Value decrease, it means expense increase, debit, expense decrease, credit. Expense increase, so debit, so interest expense increases, debit. Discount expense decreases, credit. To cash, we actually pay 4,500. So this is how the entry is balanced. Right, everyone? Coco, you understand?
Yes, I do.
Ali? Ali's here? Okay. Lota?
Yes.
Nimesh? Dijodi? Understand now? Dijodi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the other stuff. So December 31st, 2014. So remember, this is the payment dates. See, 1st January 2015. But what is the position at December 31st, 2014? Interest accrue, interest expense accrue here. But did you pay this interest payment? No, interest payment gonna be paid on 1st of January. But we are here on 31st of December. So did we pay cash? No. We create liability. So what is the entry? Interest expense. Interest expense is 4,823, right? Credit is decrease in expense, which is credit, discount, and interest payable. So here we don't have any cash because cash is going to be paid next day, which is 1st of January, right? So pay very close attention to the dates as well. So payment dates are 1st January 2014, but books closing date or fiscal year or financial year closing date is 31st of December. So on 31st of December, this is payable, this is liability, right? Now, stop and think, this is concept checker. So what would Southwest Airline 2014 income statement and year-end balance sheet for these bonds? So here we go. Income statement is a partial income statement that So total interest expense gonna be, so that's why I was telling you, profit is different from the cash, because in income statement, when we calculate the profit, we entered interest expense, and interest expense is based on market interest rate, right? Not the coupon payments. So that's why profit is different from the cash. So total interest expense is going to be, for the year, interest expense 4807 plus 4823. Here we go. Right? And what is the year-end balance on the balance sheet? So year-on balance sheet balance going to be, this is the balance. Balance is going to be, so 100,000 is the bond value minus this discount, and is equal to 9647. How we are going to write down? Like this: interest payable, okay, 4,500 that we need to pay. Here bonds payable, total value 100,000, less discount 3221, and 96772. 96772. You see here 96777. Sorry, after including both payments, 96772 is going to be your carrying value. This is the amount for the discount left, and our target value to reach is 100,000. So this is the value of the bond, right? This is how we write it down. Bond payable 100,000 less the balance of discount, and if you less that, answer would be 96779, right? So you see, we first recorded when we issued that bond 96147. Now after the year end, 1 year passed, the value is 96779, right? So that concept, when bonds are issued at discount, its values on the books, on the balance sheet, started increase year over year on year basis until it reaches its value 100,000. It means here, after 5 years, the value of the discount must be equal to 0, right? Nimesh, any question?
My bad, sir. I had a network problem.
Okay. Okay, now we are having a question. So I'm going to be setting up breakout room. All you need to do, prepare a bond amortization table for the first 4 semi-annual interest payments. First 4, which means for 2 years you need to make the amortization table, and you need to make the entries as well. So I'm going to be setting up breakout room. You are asked to take a picture here. Meanwhile, I set up the breakout room, and we will be discussing the answers after 15 minutes of this activity. So I'm going to be making 2 breakout rooms. So please, the strategy of the breakout room is that please turn on your camera and turn on your mic as well, so you discuss among each other, okay? Okay, please join the breakout room activity. For those who are watching, I'm going to be pausing the video here, and we start resuming the video once we complete our breakout room activity and we start matching the answers.